Good evening, Stefan. I know you're in Thailand. I'm looking forward to the story there as to why you
Yeah,
decided to move. Because we spoke a bit briefly, you told me about them. So, yeah, excited to get that on recording. For now, could you give a short introduction about yourself?
yeah. Well, I'm Stefan. I'm 17 years old, and due to the real world, within the last 3 months, I've made 5K, and I'm out in Thailand. So, I mean, life's not terrible. I guess it's pretty nice out here. You get plenty of vitamin D and so forth. Good thing I haven't been mugged by any ladyboys or anything so far. So, yeah, alive and well. How about you, man? You look great.
So, as a 17-year-old, you moved to Thailand. Why?
Yeah. I'm just freedom, man. I don't want to wake up at 7 in the morning and go to a school and just get brainwashed for like 5 to 7 hours. I remember it was graduation day. You can imagine graduation day, and everybody's like coming up to me and they're like, "Oh, Stefan, what are you gonna do after school?" I said, I'm going to university." And they're like, "What do you mean university?" "I'm going to Hustlers University." Right? It was kind of funny. So I just skedaddled, took a plane ride. I traveled for like 3 days straight, like a crazy guy. I couldn't sleep at the airport. My flight got canceled. It was pretty crazy, but it was really fun. And I believe as a young man, you got to go through crazy things. And so yeah, I ended up here in Thailand.
Okay, and why specifically Thailand?
I think mainly because of it's really cheap here as well. It's really nice. The lifestyle is cool. I would say also training here is very cheap. Oh, actually, it's not very cheap, but training Muay Thai here, everybody comes here. All these tourists come here to train Muay Thai. I personally want to fight. I want to become a professional fighter. I think that's really cool, learning how to fight. I think it's also necessary as a man. In Denmark, I trained for quite a while. But I mean, Denmark is Denmark. Here in Thailand, everybody like they're merciless. They don't have any mercy on you. They'll just rip you apart, kick you in the head. I mean, you can look at my hands. I'm just completely. Yeah, man, I'm a victim. But yeah, I mean, it's nice. Training here is super expensive though. It's like 300 bucks a month, but I'll survive on chicken and rice. Yeah,
200 bucks a month? Isn't that the price of rent
yeah,
in Thailand, like in some places?
yeah. It is actually. It is. It's actually like the same price for my apartment here. It's absolutely insane. But
Wait,
I
you're paying
mean,
200 bucks a month for that background?
I'm
That's against
paying.
super
I'm
good.
paying. Yeah, it's insane actually. I'm paying like 268 euros to live here. Yeah,
Wow.
it's absolutely nuts. Yeah.
I guess
It's
I need to
crazy.
consider moving to
You
Thailand,
need to
huh?
come over here, man. Yeah.
Okay, now there's some other stuff you were telling me before interview that I'd like to bring up. Who have you met in Thailand?
Well, I met the clan here, right? The clan, met Federico, Nikolai, Bellman, all the guys, who live they're living in the mountains, and they're sitting there meditating in the morning, gathering their chi, doing cold showers. Nah, but they're cool guys. I've met them. They're like mostly the top performers. They're doing 30K now with the Shaolin Temple and so forth. I met them. I've slept at their house here. Super nice guys, super hospitable. And yeah, I mean, wonderful people. Yeah.
Beautiful. Okay. And are you planning on moving in with them or not yet?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Actually, I don't think. I don't. May. I'm not sure. Actually, I don't think so. I think they're gonna be maybe moving around. I'm not sure what their plans are because you know how businesses they can scale. They might hit a gold mine tomorrow. So same with me, right? So yeah, have to see. Have to
Okay.
see if I'll. Yeah.
And how did you acquire clients and what do you do?
Yeah. Well, I do video editing now, but mainly in a marketing sense. So I started in the copywriting campus within the real world. Started there started the 3 month. Yeah, started there. I remember I finished the boot camp, and then I spent 2 hours on outreach, and then I sent it in for review, and then it got ripped apart, and then I sent it in again, then it got ripped apart. I was like, man, screw this. These guys don't know nothing. Sent the outreach away, and then I actually got my first reply. It was one of my first outreaches, and my outreach started along the lines of, my friend is a huge fan of yours, and I came across your website and I found this problem. And so I was just a little innocent man in a big world. And some guy, he messaged some fitness influencer. He's like, "Oh, really? Who's your friend?" I was like, "Man, I'm the G. I just got, I just got this guy. My first outreach. I'm on the way, man. I'm on the way to top." So I reply to him. He doesn't reply back. I'm like, "What's happening here?" And so I see he took a screenshot of the email and he put it on his Instagram. And he was like, these cringe email marketers. And so I was just heartbroken. And I figured out, let me see these top performers within the real world. Then I met, Nikolai, Saad, all these guys. Then I kind of started doing favors for them in return for coaching. And then I got a referral through Nikolai, and then I kind of started getting traction.
Interesting story there. So in terms of clients, what have you acquired since?
Yeah, so right now I work with 8 Weapons, the company that they run now, or the business. Currently, mainly my client now is a Shaolin Temple. I post all the, what do you call that? I make all the Instagram reels, kind of the Instagram page, the stuff. They do mainly the captions, so forth. And then I have another client which is confidential, unfortunately. And then I also have an e-com store, which was have an e-com store, which has been just. So I have this e-com store. It's been running on autopilot these last 3 months, and it's made me 2K. I've just been sitting here in Thailand drinking coconuts, and ka-ching, ka-ching, ka-ching. I mean, it's a beautiful life.
Mm-hmm. So what? E-commerce completely automated?
Yeah, well, it's quite funny because it's something I learned within the affiliate campus within Luke's lessons, because I've kind of been jumping around the lessons. I remember Luke, he was talking about how Luke is a professor within the real world. He chooses the affiliate marketing, in case people don't know. And he was talking about how you should always make your clips or your content based on things that are popular now, right? So things that are being searched, things that are very popular now. And I remember thinking, okay, I'm going to remember that. And then I remember a guy, he outreached to me, and he outreached to me on Instagram. He was doing manual DMs, and he was like, hey, would you be interested in buying said product? And it cost me $50. And I was like, okay, sure. I bought it, and it was legit. And using the knowledge I had from the real world, I just took everything he had. Using the knowledge I had in the real world, I took everything, and I completely outscaled him. I put the business, and because he's outreaching to these people, he's getting all the traction. But because I have a professional store, I have reviews and all this stuff, because I'm a G, right? And because of all the knowledge I have within the real world, it was just automated. I didn't have to do much because it's pretty trendy now. It's a product, yeah.
Okay, interesting. Now, what about Shaolin Temple? What is it like working with them or for them?
Yeah, well, the whole process within the Shaolin Temple starts with me waking up and at 4:30 in the morning. I go on my balcony and I do my Tai Chi dance to gather my chi, and then I take all the energy I have, and then I key to it into the copy or into the reel, so to speak. I make the content for it. I make content, and then I also help from a advisor role. I come up with ideas. I help them. We discuss business plans on how we can grow the Shaolin Temple and eventually take over the whole world with the Shaolin warrior monks.
I see. Very interesting. Okay. Yeah. And how much video editing experience did you have before you joined? And did you learn more while in the real world for video editing, or did you just go through the freelancing section?
Yeah, before the real world, I had zero experience with video editing at all. And so the video editing was just happened to me, I guess. I got offered an opportunity. And what they teach you in the real world is that you always get cash in, and then you figure out how to do the problem. And what the real world does is that they equip you with all the tools you need to do anything within wealth creation. And so I said, okay, now I need to do video editing. What the hell am I going to do? I went to the real world, affiliate campus. Okay, let me take it from here. Boom, boom, boom. Now I'm a master video editor here. It's really nice. So I learned video editing through there. And yeah, I've made $5K in the past 3 months from video editing and from the e-com store, just because of the real world. Yeah.
And now you're living in Thailand again as a 17-year-old because of it.
Yeah. But actually, I believe people have the belief that living in Thailand or living abroad is very difficult. And I mean, sure, I got hustled when I came here. It was a bit rough in the beginning, and problems happen. Something bad happens. I mean, like here, it's the Wild West when it comes to traffic, right? So I'm driving, and the guy turns in front of me. I'm like, what the hell do I do, right? Yeah, so it's quite crazy. So things just happen. But how I got here was, well, I just got money in. And I said, I don't want to go to school. I don't want to go down that kind of path because, I'm destined for greatness. I don't want to, waste my time learning about, I don't know, Pythagoras theory or some nonsense. I said, hey man, I'm gonna jump over on a plane, go to Thailand, drink coconuts, and scale my business.
I love that. Awesome. So you said you all hustled a bit when you came. What's the story there? Anything stand out
Yeah,
that you can share?
so yeah, man. So you can imagine I came to Thailand. So yeah, so it all started in Denmark. So I went from Denmark to Paris, and Paris had these like Paris has the weirdest airport ever. They have like tubes, like super weird. It's like a fever dream. I don't know. It's super weird. So I went from Paris to Oman, and then I went from Oman to Bangkok, and everything went wrong in Bangkok because my flight to Bangkok was delayed. So yeah, my flight to Bangkok was delayed. So my flight from Bangkok to Phuket got canceled. So I ended up arriving in Bangkok, and there was this little Thai lady with my name. I was like, I was like, bro, what? Like, what are these stalkers doing over here in Thailand trying to find me? No, but she was with the airport company, and she was like, "Oh, you Stefan? Oh, you Stefan? Yeah, I'm Stefan. I'm the big G. You want a signature? Or what? You want a photo?" No. She basically had to escort me to the flight. But the flight, I mean, I missed the flight, right? And she didn't even notice, right? So I got through security, breezed through it, through security, and then I tell her like, "Yo, my flight is canceled. What are we gonna do about this?" And so she goes on a little mini phone, and she blah, 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 speaking Thai, blah blah blah. And her boss comes over, and the basics say, well, we can't really do anything. Like we can't rebook a flight for you. We can't basically do anything. So I'm like, well, what do I do? And they're, well, okay, you can go over here and you can book a new flight. You can get a new ticket, whatever. So I'm like, okay. So now I had like some money and I had to exchange it. And bro, they took like half my money. Like I got completely hustled when it came to the exchanges, because you know how they are in the airport. They just take half your money and say have a good day, and you can't really argue, right? Because I mean, you're in Thailand. What are you gonna do? Like, take a scooter? So I ended up having to buy a ticket to Phuket again, and then I spent 24 hours in the airport, and I remember it was like 12. It was like I think it was 1 a.m. I was like, what, I'm going to sit around and watch some TV shows while I wait for Neo? No, I'm not. So I literally just walked in circles of the entire airport. Did that like a good, 15, I did it for like 2 hours. And I remember I walked past this grandpa, he was sitting, he was like reading his newspaper. It was like, wouldn't it be funny if how many times can I go visit this guy and get like, is that the same guy? Is that the same guy? So I did that for a while. It was pretty fun, actually. Spooked the old guy a little bit. It's like, am I alive? Old guy. No, I'm just kidding. Poor guy. But did that for a while. And then I just, then I was just awake for the rest of the day. I got on my plane ticket to Phuket, took a taxi, and kapoosh. Here I am.
Okay, so not too bad of a hustle, just the airport exchange rate hustle. And just inconvenience and airport hustle. Okay, got it. I thought maybe some locals done some stuff to you, and now you're traumatized and you'll never recover. But okay, that's fine. That's still pretty bad. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, and what is your average day like now then? How different is it from before you joined the real world?
Yeah, well, before I joined the real world, I mean, I've been working out for quite a while, right? I've been working out, but I mean, that was essentially my life, just making sure I eat my chicken and spinach. And then, like, what do I do for the rest of the day? What do I study? Math and do all this stuff. Okay, cool, I guess I'll study, but it's kind of boring. So I had kind of been looking to biology and cybersecurity, that kind of stuff. But I didn't want to do cybersecurity because, I mean, you're sitting kind of in front of a computer. I mean, it's cool, the whole thing is mostly filled with, geeks. I was like, well, I don't really want to do that. And then I had an internship at this company. It's quite a long story. But I don't know, because I'm a charismatic, beautiful, young, charming young man. So of course I'm going to get the internship, right? So bang, I show up at the internship. And funny enough, when I show up, there's a new recruit, right? A new employee. And this chick, she had a bachelor's degree in biology, right? So she basically went down the same path I would have went. And what she ended up doing was So this company basically specialized in growing salads or like, greens, or spices like oregano and stuff using UV lights and fluorescence and fluorescent lights. But it looked great on the surface, but it was a pretty shitty, it was a pretty bad company. So the chick, what she ended up doing was she just sat in the laboratory all day and just checked. Okay, is there some sort of poison in the plants? Is there like a parasite or something? It was super boring. She just tested the plants like 24/7. It was super boring. And then I met this really unique individual. He was in the cleaning department, and this guy, bro, like super random guy. So he was a guy from Taiwan, and he was like a gay Taiwan guy, like super weird guy. He was kind of scrawny, but he was really fast. And I would say he embodied the definition of speed, which they teach within the real world, which is where you just do everything or you get everything done. And because he was a go-getter, like it would be the break time and he'd be out working, he'd be finishing his work. And I ended up befriending him and I've been talking to him. I started talking with him and he's like, well, the investor, he's just pulling funds into here so he can just cash out. Like he doesn't care about the employees, so basically the CEO of the company, he had set up a deal with some Chinese company to basically buy their equipment and then they would pay him a bit because he would fool in the investors. So he didn't even care about the company. It was crazy. I was sitting there, wow, okay. And I just discovered this. And then my teachers came and they're like, wow, this company's so cool, Stefan. How did you end up here? And I'm sitting there thinking like, you guys don't even know the surface here, Like, yeah, it's pretty funny. So that's the story. But now I wake up at 4:30 normally. I wake up, a cup of coffee, gather my morning tea, do my Tai Chi, and then I basically start working. I train Muay Thai 2 times a day, and then I have my own workout. It's pretty merciless. Yeah, it's pretty rough out here when you're doing Muay Thai. They don't care. Like if you show up as some sort of backpacking geek, then they're probably gonna go easy on you. But if you show up every day and you're about it, and they're they just start kicking you. Yeah, they just kill you, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I wake up, I drink my coffee, and then I do my work. And yeah, man, I just enjoy it here. It's really nice. And just training right now and trying to, I guess I just put myself out in the fire, right, in the flames. And what I'm doing now is I'm just looking for impurities, right? I'm just analyzing every single day. Why am I not performing why did I do this? Why did I waste time on this? And I'm just hammering it, right? So I can be, a perfectly shaped, awesome spear, like a katana, right? Just forging myself, I guess.
Very interesting. Okay. And when you initially said you go out to gather your chi, I took that as a joke, but is that actually, like, do you do that?
Well, I don't do a morning meditation, I would say, but I do think that there's power in exercising like a crazy person. So I remember it sounds a bit strange, doesn't it? But I'll give you an example so it'll be a bit more clarified. But the first day when I came to training with Nikolai, because he's training here also, the coach, he basically wanted to test me. And so he just took me aside and he's like, okay, let's do pad work. And bro, just had me going for like an hour and 30 with literally zero breaks, just keep hitting the pad, right? And I hit it as hard as I can. I said, hit it harder. I was like, okay, hit it harder. And if I don't hit it harder, he just smacks me in the face. I'm like, shit, well, I have to hit it harder. So I got my ass complete whooped. And then at the end of the training, he's like, okay, you gotta go get in the ring. And so I'm like, okay, bro, okay, I don't want to get smacked in the face. Okay, I go in the ring. Of course I'm gonna get smacked in the face. So I go in the ring, and then I end up sparring the fighters in the gym, right? And they just, they kind of annihilate me, but I'm kind of like Rocky, he'll hit me, but I'll manage to hit him with the jab, and they'll give me my power, and I'll get him back up, and then be more angry, and they'll hit me again, but I'll just hit him a little bit. That continued for quite a bit, and at the end, the last guy, he looked at the trainer, he was like, this guy's crazy. And so yeah, it was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment. But I think when you're really pushing yourself, when you're really that kind of like, I can't, like if I don't do this, I'm gonna get smacked, so I have to do this. You're kind of pushing yourself. And I want to say that when you really exercise really like crazy, you kind of get energy, right? Because your baseline dopamine goes up. So you just feel more energized, you feel more refreshed because you just trained. Your body's like, okay, now we're about it, now we're going. And one thing to preach in the real world, which one thing they preach in the real world is that you should do push-ups, right? You're working a little bit, then you do push-ups, and then you continue working because you get the blood flowing, you get everything going, right? You're turned on. So that's how I gather my chi, basically. That's the concept. I'll wake up, yeah.
But yeah, since you are working with Shaolin monks, I'm like, wait, maybe you're actually serious about gathering your chi and not saying as a joke. Yeah, I wanted to clarify. Okay, interesting.
It's a bit different, but yeah.
But are there exercises that they teach you for gathering chi, or are you just not interested in doing them?
In the Shaolin Temple, yeah, I mean, you have Tai Chi, which is basically a stance, right, where you kind of pushing the bad energy, you're kind of taking the good energy, you but it's mainly breathing. I think that's the main component of all the Shaolin Temple. And yeah, breathing ties into a lot of things because people breathe wrong. They take really short breaths. And I think what the Shaolin Temple they focus on, well, especially with certain, with certain moves, I guess, is just breathing right. Taking your time and just focusing on your breathing and getting your oxygen flowing and everything. And then you are just naturally going to be more. You're going to be more nice. You're going to be more alert. You're going to have, more energy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so they do teach a few things. But yeah.
Cool. So I love that story. I love the tangent. Now back to the real world. A few more questions. What was the biggest challenge you faced when you first started out as a video editor?
Yeah, well, the biggest challenge I found out was probably prospecting. Oh, well, just sending cold outreach. I think that's where most people give up, and that's because you'll send out these outreaches and you'll just get no replies. I mean, I think you can kind of look at it in the same way you take, for example, you send 30 outreaches, right? You're just basically asking 30 people, hey, would you be interested? Like, I think I can help you with this, and you'll get rejected. Now, of course, it's your fault because you're not good enough, but you just have to keep going and keep going and keep going. And you almost have to be insane about it, to be honest with you, to get clients. You have to be completely crazy. I mean, for 3 months straight, I was sitting, for 3 months straight, my whole routine was, wake up in the morning, have a cup of coffee. I literally used to, because in the real world, they say you should be focused, you should have no distractions. And so my PC was in the living room and my mom would walk around, she would do the TV, whatever. I was like, well, I can't have this. I can't really have it in my room because the Wi-Fi is bad. So, screw it, I'm going to go in the basement. So literally, I had it in the basement, my computer, and I had to put my leg up on the other leg and I had to push it so I'd be close enough to the PC. And then my hand will be on the table. And so right here on my wrist, I will be laying all the weight on my wrist. And I have wounds on my wrist. And I just did that for 3 months straight. And, I got my first client. And after I got my first client, I just went completely insane. I cut out sleep. I couldn't sleep because I was just about it. I needed more money. I would wake up in the morning and my heart would be pounding. I'd be sweating. I'd be like, I need to make more money. Completely. And then a month after that, I got the e-com store going. Then I kind of calmed down a little bit. But that was definitely the biggest challenge. But I believe if you keep going, if you keep sticking through, you'll eventually get small wins. Maybe you'll get more replies. You'll eventually hop on a sales call, and then you'll eventually close. And then you eventually be in Thailand. Yeah.
So a lot of hardship overcome here, and very interesting story. That after all that, you made it to Thailand now, and I'm repeating that probably third time I'm saying it, but it's very 17-year-old in Thailand, exactly, doing video editing, working with Shaolin Temple, doing Muay Thai.
Exactly.
Yes,
but that's the thing. Also, I could have stayed in Denmark, for a few more months because I have summer vacation, and then I could have gone to Thailand. But then I could have, or maybe I could have stayed in Denmark, because it's cheaper to live with my parents and so forth. But it just doesn't have that ring. It's not cool enough, When I'm I don't know, say 35, and I have kids. What I want to do? Well, when I was 16, I made a bit of money, and I was living with my parents. It's kind of boring, right? So went to Thailand. Said fuck school, fuck all these, these geeks. Let me go to Thailand. Let me go get my ass whooped every single day and make money and work with the Shaolin Temple. And yeah, here I am.
Yeah, love that. Okay, so now a real world question again. How different is the material that you've seen from the real world compared to what's out on the internet?
Yeah, the real world is absolutely incredible. And I think that the material is absolutely, you can't find it anywhere else because it's taught by millionaire professors who have all experience within the things they preach. I'll give you an example. I pay like $500 for a course from another video editor, and I got completely scammed. The guy was like, but I bought it because he was an editor for a really famous YouTuber. And so I kind of respected the YouTuber. So I was like, okay, I'm going to buy this course from him. And I got scammed. And one of the biggest things that kind of angered me wasn't that the course was a scam, but because he preached the community. And the community was terrible. Because in the community, he doesn't give you the mental frames which they give you in the real world. He doesn't teach you about speed. He doesn't teach you about working hard. He doesn't teach you about being about it. Whereas in the real world, they preach all of that. So what you end up getting is not only priceless information, but you also get a community of killers. You get a community of people who are about it. You get a community of people who are winners. I'll give you an example. I met people within the real world, and one of the guys, he started a YouTube channel, and he actually got recognized by Iman Gadzhi. Like, it's pretty crazy. Another guy, he's in Hungary, and he's about to start his own corn business. Like, it's crazy. Like, you have like, I know that guy in Hungary. I know these guys in Phuket. We're all winners. We're all cool people.
Mm-hmm.
We're not some geeks sitting in Denmark
Right,
going to school. Yeah, it's absolutely incredible.
Mm-hmm.
You're just around winners all the time.
All right. Yeah, it's so many accounts now of what an amazing community the real world is.
Yeah, truly incredible.
And as you were saying that story about the guy that basically scammed you, I mean, I can't think of any other platform which has a community like the real world. And
Yeah,
I don't want to say too much else because it's just going to sound like I'm trying to sell it. Because for some people, maybe it'll sound too good to be true. So yeah, I'll just leave it at that. And since you're on this trajectory now, where do you see your life heading in the short term, medium term, long term?
Yeah, I want to, before I start talking about it, I want to give a quote by Mike Tyson. It's like, everybody has a plan until you get punched in the face. So, everything is going well now. Currently my short form and long form plan is just to get more money, get more clients, and just scale, right? But you never know. Tomorrow something might happen. I might lose everything. But the greatest thing is that within the real world, mental frames, the teacher models. So it doesn't matter if tomorrow I lose everything because I know the exact way how to get it back. And I know that I'm in a community of winners, who are only going to lift me up. So in terms of long form and short form plan, I don't really think about long form too much because you never know what might happen. Tomorrow you might say, oh, I'm just going to shoot an email to the Shaolin Temple. And next thing you know, 3 months later, you're in China doing Kung Fu. So yeah, so it's pretty crazy. Things might go really nice, things might go really wrong. So, but yeah, my current plan is just to become stronger, just to, as I said before, just throw myself in the flames as like a sword, I guess, and just see like what am I missing, what could I do better, and just hammer out the imperfections.
Good, I love that. And on a personal note now, what kind of an impact has Andrew Tate had on you?
Yeah, Tate, man, Tate's legit, man. I really like Tate. So yeah, as I said before, before the real world, I was just doing gym, right? I didn't really know what to do. Before the real world, I didn't really know what to do. I was just going to the gym. I was just eating chicken. But there would be these moments where you're just eating chicken and your rice, and you're kind of, okay, I'm getting gains, but like, what am I going to do after this, right? And so what Tate did, so I discovered Tate. I was like, okay, this guy's talking. This guy's giving gold nuggets. And I do want to be like him. I do want to, do the same, achieve the same things he's achieved. So then I said to myself, well, why don't I just listen to him? So I started listening to him. I started incorporating the things he said. And eventually I just embodied everything he said. He said, okay, do this, do this, do this. I was like, okay, understood. Boom, 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 boom. I didn't question anything. I wasn't arrogant. I just said, okay, he says this, I will do it. Because I know he's not lying to me. I know he didn't pay off his Bugatti with my $50 investment. So he's probably trustworthy. So I said that, I did all those things. And then eventually with Tate, I kind of branched off. Okay, well, who's Tate's best friend? Okay, it's Tutorial, it's Justin Waller. Okay, let me look into those guys. What are those guys saying? And then from then, it kind of grew from like a tree, I guess. More branches, more knowledge, just growing in every aspect.
All right.
So Tate has helped me massively by giving me direction and showing me the right path, and I'm very grateful to him.
Beautiful. And now, for the fourth time, because of that, you're a 17-year-old living in Thailand, just randomly moved from Denmark, and knowing all these people because of the community. And who knows how far you'll go in the next 3 months, 6 months. So I look forward to doing follow ups with you to keep you accountable and checking on your progress. And now,
Wouldn't want to miss out too.
for my final question, for people who are unsure about joining the real world because maybe they think it could be a scam for the $50, maybe Tate is indeed trying to pay off his Bugatti with their $50. What advice would you have to them?
I would say, I mean, I think it's more of like, how should I say, okay, I don't want to get too philosophical, but there's this, I guess, term in philosophy, oh my God, in philosophy, where it's like Plato's cave, right? Where basically there's people in a cave and they're sitting chained to a wall and they're seeing like shadows, right? They're seeing shadow of everyday objects. And so one day, one of them, he ventures out and he sees the light. He goes outside and he sees things for real. He sees that, okay, well, there's more to life than just shadows. There's the sun, there's animals, there's fruits, there's all these wonderful things. And so he goes back into the cave and he's like, hey guys, let's come out. And some don't come out and some do. And those who do, they enjoy the fruits, you know. But what they have to do is they have to realize, well, they have to accept that they're chained, that they're actually being held back by society, by their parents, by whoever, by all these negative beliefs they have. And so I think it's more of them just breaking those chains and actually just convincing themselves and actually realizing and having some self-acceptance and then just accepting going out in the cave and seeing what it is. And to walk out of the cave, it's only $50. It's $50, bro. Like, come on. Well, I mean, seriously, bro. Like, it's $50, but it's 50. I mean, it's not a half a million. You know, Tate, bro has like 33 cars. Like, you think your $50 is paying that off? I mean, really, like, just think about it. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. You have people like you, broadcasts, who are just doing an incredible job, you know, just showing everybody, showing all these winners from the real world. And you have endless proof, endless testimonials, endless winners out here killing it. People in Thailand living in mansions, 17-year-olds, went from Denmark to Thailand. You have all the proof you need. All you have to do is just go out and just do it. There's nothing to lose. I mean, it's $50.
Okay, very well put. Yeah, thank you for that, Stefan. And yeah, for people who want to find out more about you or contact you, where can they do so?
Yeah, well, you can go on Instagram and you can do Stefan.the.extraordinary because I am quite extraordinary. I have to say. Well, I do say so myself, but I don't want to sound a bit cliche. Yeah, you can find me there on Instagram. Yeah, I mean, I don't really give out my Gmail or anything like that, so you can just find me on iSpy. Yeah, I like to keep my Gmail very private. Just kidding, but yeah.
Okay. So yeah, Stefan, thank you for coming on for the interview. It was very
My
interesting
pleasure.
to hear your story, all those unique insights and experiences. And yeah, as I said, I look forward in 3 months to doing that follow up and seeing just how far you're going to come in that time. Because on the trajectory that you're on, I mean, there's so much that you could potentially achieve. So yeah, look forward to getting that documented. And until
Yeah.
then, I wish you all the best.
You too, man. See you soon.